Judy Moody in the Not Bummer Summer. LDOS, last day of school. The countdown, only 27 minutes, 17 seconds, and 9 milliseconds until summer. No more S for Snoresville summers. She, Judy Moody, was going to have the best summer ever. Rare. Judy passed a note to Rocky before Mr. Todd came back. Rocky flicked the note to Frank. Mr. Todd came into the room carrying a stack of papers. He had got his he had his got music cap on backwards. He blinked the lights to everyone's attention. Frank popped the note into his mouth. The note says, to Rocky, Frank and Amy Namey, what TP club meeting, when after school, where Moody backyard, TP club tent, be there or be a square pants. Pop quiz, said Mr. Todd. Class 3T groaned. Just think, it's your last test on the last day of school. Oh, nah, bad one, everyone moaned. No way, said Frank. The note shot out of his mouth and landed smack dab in the middle of Rocky's desk. Slobber City. Gross, yelled Rocky. Mr. Todd passed out the quizzes. Mr. Todd cleared his throat. Question number 1. How many times did I wear a purple tie to school this year? Everybody shouted answers. 10, 27, 100, 4, never, called Jessica Finch. Never is correct, said Mr. Todd. Number 2. How long did it take our class to go around the world? 8 days, said Frank. 8.5 days, said Judy. Too easy, let's just skip ahead. Here's one. This is big, really big. We're talking mucho grande. Tell us, everyone shouted. Can anyone? That means you, Class T, 3T. Guess what I, your teacher, Mr. Todd, will be doing this summer. Working at the Pickle Barrel Deli? Asked Hunter. I saw you there. That was last summer, said Mr. Todd. But this summer, if you find me, you win a prize. We need a clue, said Judy. Give us a clue. Clue, 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 yelled the class. Okay. Let me think. The clue is cold. Mr. Todd hugged himself, pretending to shiver. Brrr. We are right there. Brrr. Jackson waved his hand. Refrigerator salesperson. Snow remover guy, Jordan said. Polar bear, said Anya. Judy thought and thought. Her eyes landed on Antarctica poster tacked to the bulletin board. Oh, look at that picture. Ooh, I got it. You're going to Antarctica, the real one. No, nope, and nope, said Mr. Todd. Bring! Just then, the final bell rang and Class 3T went wild. See you next year, Mr. Todd said. Unless we see you this summer, some of the kids yelled. Bye, Mr. Todd, Judy called, zooming out the door. Stay warm. Stay, Judy, Mr. Todd called after her. Chapter 2, Funkadelic. Last one in the tent is a rotten tomato. Judy, Rocky, and Amy pushed past Frank into the TP Club tent in Judy's backyard. Hey, no fair, said Frank. Judy pulled out a giant rolled-up poster board. Okay, TPers, we are going to have the most way rare double cool not bummer summer ever. Time out, said Amy, making a T with her hands. What's a T-pier? Frank, Judy, and Rocky stared at one another. We forgot, said Rocky. Amy's not even a member of our club yet. And yet, said Judy. Quick, Frank, go catch a toad. Me? You catch a toad, said Frank. Why do we need a toad? Asked Amy. Everybody cracked up. You'll see, said Frank. You'll see, said Rocky. What about today? Frank asked. Of course. Judy was back in a flash from Stink's room, holding Toady, the club mascot, in her hand. She passed it, lightning fast, to Amy. Amy peered at the toad in her hand. I don't get it. What's supposed to happen? If he jumps in my face, you guys are so dead. Just wait, said Judy. Just wait, said Rocky. Do you feel anything? Asked Frank. Yeah, a big fat slimy. All of a sudden, Amy made a face as something started to drip from her hands. Ew, she said, peering at the teeny puddle of yellow. She gave Toady back to Judy. Toad pee, yelled Rocky and Frank at the same time. Judy, Rocky, and Frank fell over laughing. No way, ew, sick, said Amy, wiping her hands on Judy's legs. Sick awesome, said Judy. Now you're a member of our club, said Frank. The Toad Pea Club. Oh, I get it. That makes you totally cool, said Rocky. Judy popped the rubber band off of her chart. So, are you guys ready for my uber awesome plan introducing the one, the only, Judy Moody Mega Rare, not Bummer Summer Dare? Judy unrolled her chart. Ta-da! Stickers and glitters went flying. See thrill points. Bonus points, loser points, and big fat total. Huh, said Rocky. I don't get it. You know how summer's always boring with a capital B? Thrill points are going to save summer. I spent 2 days and 16 racers figuring it out. Ride the Scream Monster. Surf a wave. Are these the dares? Amy asked. Yep. See, a dare is something way fun that we've never done before and that we're kind of scared to do. Cool beans, huh? Oh boy, said Rocky. I think I forgot to tell you some. I guess it's too farted. I can scoop for it. To do the pictures. Judy stuck her hand over his mouth. As I was saying, for each dare we get 10 thrill points, plus bonus points if we're doing something crazy, like ride the Scream Monster with no hands, or loser points if we chicken out. Oh, and at the end of the summer, we add up all the points, Frank asked. Yeah, and if we reach 100, then presto whammo, we just had the best summer ever. Is that thrill-adelic or what? Rocky looked green around the edges. Amy looked like she had just swallowed a frog. Rocky forgot to tell you. He's going away this summer to circus camp. What? She's going away too, said Rocky. To Borneo. Judy cracked up. You guys, you got me. I thought you were serious. Borneo, that's a good one. What even is Borneo? It's an island in Indonesia, and I am going for real with my mom. We leave next Friday. Same here, said Rocky. I'm going to learn to walk a tightrope and do magic tricks and stuff. This is so not fair. How are we going to have the best summer ever if you're not even here? Frank looked up from the chart. Hello, I'm not going anywhere. We can still have fun. Great, just great. After her friends went home, Judy sat in the tent staring at her blank chart. Suddenly, it did not look one bit thrilladelic. It looked funkadelic. Flunkadelic. It's just you and me now, Toady. Another long, hot, boring summer. Stinky's head popped into the tent. Help! Toady's gone. He's escaped. Chill out, Stinkerbell. He's right here. We needed him so Amy could be in the Toad Pea Club. Hey, no fair. You guys had a Toad Pea Club meeting without me. Thank you for rocking my chair. Be glad you weren't here. It was the worst Toad Pea Club of all time. Somebody's in a mood, said Stink. You would be too if your best friends were going to circus camp in Borneo for the summer. Now I'm stuck here being Bordio. Not me. I have big plans for summer. Bigfoot plans. I'm going to catch Bigfoot. Stink, the only Bigfoot around here is your two big stinky feet. Haven't you heard? It's all over the news. There are Bigfoot sightings everywhere. He's way close. Yesterday, Riley Rottenberg told Webster, and Webster told Sophie, and Sophie told me that Riley saw Bigfoot at the mall. The backseat of the car. Wait, was that 2 pages stuck together? Yeah, to the mall. Yeah, right. You and Stink Moody are going to catch him. Yep, you can help if you want. Judy rolled her eyes. I'd rather catch poison ivy. This was going to be the boringest, snoringest summer ever. For sure, and abso-positively. A week later, even though Judy had promised herself she was never going to talk to Rocky again, she walked across the street with her bike to say goodbye. Rocky's mom and dad, aunts, uncles, and tons of cousins were giving him a send-off party with big goodbye cake and lots of singing. For he's a jolly good fellow. Judy helped Rocky lug a big suitcase to the back seat of the car. Rocky gave it one final push with his butt. So you're not gonna go to the circus camp, huh? Sure you don't want to change your mind? Are you nuts? But what if you hate circus camp? Judy asked. What's to hate? Tightrope walking, juggling, sword swallowing, lion taming, elephant poop, scooping all day. Elephant poop weighs like 200 tons. Plus it smells worse than a corpse flower. Rocky's mom tooted the horn. Time to go, Rock. Bye. Don't forget to write. We'll miss you. Break a leg, called his family. Judy stepped back. Her smile started to quiver. Bye. Bye, said Rocky. She trotted alongside the car. Remember, if camp is super boring, you can always come home. Judy hopped on her bike and raced after the car. Don't say I didn't warn you about the poop. Rocky waved from the back seat until the car disappeared. Judy biked straight to Amy and Amy's house. When she got upstairs, Amy was jamming to the last Nancy Drew book in her zebra-striped backpack. New picture. Judy flopped on Amy's bed, blowing a huge bubblegum bubble. So tell me again why you're going to Borneo. Borneo. My mom's going to write an article on the lost tribe called the Panam. They've lived in the rainforest since forever, but all of their land is getting wrecked because loggers are cutting down all the trees. That sounds so way unboring. I wish I could help save a lost tribe. Go ask your mom. Maybe she'll let you come too. I will. See ya, Judy called, zooming out the door. 2 seconds later, she popped back into Amy's room. But in case she says no, here's something to remember me by. Judy dug around in her pocket and came up with a red rubber band, a lucky stone, and half a grouchy pencil. Here, she said, handing over the pencil. Write me. Sweet, Amy said. Write me back. Judy pedaled home as fast as she could, singing, Oh, Borneo, I long to visit you, E-D-O-U. E-O. She jumped off her bike, letting it crash to the ground. Mom, she called, bursting through the door. I have a great idea. Mom, guess what? I figured out how to save summer. Save summer, Mom said, distracted. I didn't know it was in trouble. Listen to this. Instead of going to Grandma Lou's boring, let's go to unboring Borneo. Borneo? Judy, that's halfway around the world. So, it's got a rainforest and lost tribes that need to get found. Stink came into the kitchen and headed for the fridge. Stink, guess what-io? We're going to Borneo. But we need money-o. Let's have a yard sale. I'll sell my pizza table collection. You can sell your world's biggest jawbreaker. Standing on his tiptoes, Stink pulled a bag of red berries from the freezer. No way, I'm busy. Are these cranberries? Mom nodded. Stink zoomed out of the room with a bag of cranberries. Judy looked down at her mood ring. Wait. It was not on her finger. Great. Now she had lost her mood ring too. She, Judy Moody, was in a mood, and she did not need a ring to prove it was a bad mood, the baddest. The next week was boring without her. Without her friends. And the week after that, even Frank got to go to Unlimited Adventures Day Camp. All Judy got to do was camp out on her bottom bunk and read The Ultimate Adventures of Nancy Drew. Then one day, on the 4th of July, to be exact, Mom had some news. Maybe it was super duper good news. Maybe she, Judy Moody, could declare independence from a boring summer. Judy ran down the steps. Mom put a hand on Judy's shoulder. Honey, I have something to tell you. Judy plopped down on the kitchen table. That was Nana on the phone. She and Gramps are moving to a retirement community, remember? But Gramps hurt his back, and they need some help. So we won't be going to visit Grandma Lou. Judy bounced up in her seat. You mean we're going to visit Nana and Gramps in California instead? Woohoo! That's almost as good as Borneo. Dad stood in the doorway, holding a roller brush in one hand. He had a smudge of green paint on his face. Did you tell her? Not quite, Mom said, glancing at Judy. Judy looked from one to the other, confused. Listen, Jillybean, said Dad, sliding in next to Judy. Your mom and I have to fly out to California to help your grandparents. You and Stink. Judy stared at him, and her heart was in her throat. Are staying here. What? Judy gasped. You're going to leave me? To die of starvation and boredom and instinctum? But the good news is Aunt Opal's coming, Mom said cheerily. Aunt who? My sister, said Dad. You know, your Aunt Opal. I met her when I was like a baby. She could be a zombie for all I know. Just then, Stink clomped into the room wearing an old green blanket stuck all over with green leaves, twigs, and cranberries. Do I look like a berry bush? Dad said, you look like a beaver dam, said Judy Moody. I'm trying to fake out Bigfoot. Oh, in that case, then definitely, said Dad. Absolutely. Great. Stink skipped out of the kitchen. So Judy said, ticking off her fingers, I'm not going to Borneo, I'm not going to California, I'm not even going to Grandma Lou's. Mom and Dad nodded. This is the way worst double drat down in the dump summer ever. Judy ran upstairs and into her room. Slamming the door, she flung herself onto her lower bunk. Roar! Tingelino, ding, ding, ding. Outside, the happy tune of the ice cream truck drifted through the window. My ice cream truck sounds different than that. Stink called up the stairs. Judy, it's the ice cream truck. Judy yelled back, I am not in the mood. She rolled over and landed on something. Ow. Pulling out the magic 8-ball, Judy asked a question, shaking it hard. Dear magic 8-ball, could the summer get any worse? The window cleared, without a doubt. A couple days later, Judy was on her top bunk, reading Nancy Drew's Mystery number 44 when she heard honk honk from outside in the driveway. Dad called up the stairs. Stink! Judy! Aunt Opal's here. Judy scrambled down from her top bunk and ran to the window. Just like Nancy Drew, she cracked the curtain to spy on this Aunt Opal person. All she could see was a pair of short blue boots sticking out from under a giant suitcase. She dropped the curtain and ran to her computer. Dear Amy, summer just got way worse. Aunt Awful has landed. Please come home ASAP or else send me a ticket to Borneo. Judy paced around her room, talking to Mouse. I bet she has warts, Mouse, and evil oogly eyes, and makes us eat fish guts for breakfast. Mouse licked his lips. Bam, bam, bam. Stink stunk in his head. Stink stuck his head in Judy's room. Mom wants us downstairs now to meet Aunt Opal. Judy pointed to the sign on the door. Can't anybody read around here? Stink read aloud. Do not disturb. Judy Moody is spending the summer in her room. Really? The whole summer? What about food? Judy pointed to her window. I have a basket and a long rope. You can put food inside and I'll pull it up. What about TV? Judy held up a contraption made out of tin cans, toilet paper rolls, duct tape, and mirrors. What do you think this periscope is for? Cool. What about going to the bathroom? Just then, a plume of black smoke wafted up the stairs. Judy heard a shriek and then a loud clatter and Mom's voice. Oh no, dinner's on fire! Beep! The smoke alarm blared through the house. Stink raced out of the room. Judy grabbed her dolphin water pistol and ran for the stairs. Fire? Where's the fire? Help is on the way, let me. Judy clattered down the stairs, her water pistol in one hand and a squirt toy in the other. Blazing into the smoky kitchen, she blasted water left and right and center, hitting chairs, tables, Stink, Mouse, Jaws, and the smoky casserole that Mom was putting on the counter. Stop, Judy, it's okay, stop, Mom said. One final blast of the squirt gun hit Aunt Opal right between the eyes. Oops. Aunt Opal shook her long red hair and laughed. Judy! Judy was instantly squished into a big bear hug. You've been here 5 minutes, Opal, and already the house is on fire, said Dad, opening a window. Mom flapped a dishcloth over the black casserole. Let me look at you, Aunt Opal said to Judy. How old are you now, 12? 9 and some quarters. Judy eyed her aunt up and down. Her hippie shirt to her bright blue boots, to her arms jangling with bangles and bracelets. Wow, you've got more bracelets than Chloe, my math tutor, and she's in college. Opal twisted and braided bracelets off her wrist and handed it to Judy. Here, this one is made from yak hair. Rare, said Judy. I bought it from a monkey in Nepal for 500 rupees. I think I got ripped off. Opal rummaged through a large bag. Here's your real present. She handed a small box to Judy and a book to Stink. For me? Awesome, said Stink. Judy flipped open the box. Inside, there was the mother of all mood rings, a silver snake that curled around a glowing mood crystal. A mood ring, how did you know? Opal winked. Judy slipped the ring on her finger. It turned bright blue. Blue is happy. Glad, said Judy. Stink opened his book. So you want to catch Bigfoot, man, oh man, oh man. I think you're a hit. Oh, said Dad, putting an arm around her shoulder. I hate to interrupt, but what are we going to do for dinner? Mom asked. Judy and Stink didn't miss a beat. Pizza, pizza. Before you could say pepperoni, Judy and Stink were racing past China, speed bump 1, and past Japan, speed bump number 2, on their way to Gino's Pizza. Let's go to Fur and Fangs while we wait, Stink said. I gotta go show Zeke my Bigfoot Club the new book. And prove to you that Bigfoot exists. Right. Judy rolled her eyes as Stink ran next door to Fur and Fangs. He rushed up to a tall, skinny teenager with hair in his eyes, waving his book. Hey, Zeke, check this out. Zeke blew his hair out of his eyes and let out a whistle. Sweet. It's a first edition, said Zeke, admiring the book. Stink smiled proudly. This is Judy, my sister. She doesn't believe in Bigfoot. Can you believe that? Seriously? Mega, total, super seriously, said Judy. Show her, Zeke. Show her the proof. Do you think she can handle the cave? Zeke asked. Stink nodded. Follow me, Zeke told Judy. He headed back to the store, past the red macaw on the perch. Bigfoot lives. Bigfoot lives, said the macaw. Judy jumped, then quickly followed Zeke and Stink through a beaded curtain, past piles of cages pet food, and pet supplies. Zeke's head bumped on a Bigfoot believer sign as he ducked into a large cave made of old boxes and covered with spray-painted dog food bags. What is this, a clubhouse for bats? Judy asked. Welcome to the headquarters of the Bigfoot Believers Association. Oh. Is this cool or what? Stink said proudly. Zeke pointed to a map of Virginia, studded with pushpins. All these are all sightings of Bigfoot around here. We've been tracking his every move, and he is definitely headed our way. Stink snatched up a clump of gray hair lying on the table. Holy Pluto, is this what I think it is? As in Bigfoot hair? Nah, chinchilla, Zeke said, laughing. I had to brush one out this morning. Never mind that. Let's get the real proof. I keep it in cold storage. Zeke stepped over to a fridge in the corner. Wait, did you say cold storage? Judy asked. Do you, by chance, know Mr. Top? Nope, never heard of him. Zeke opened the fridge. Very carefully, he took a photo out of a plastic pouch. Here you go. A rare photo of Bigfoot. Look, but don't touch. He held a blurry black and white photo out to Judy. Judy snorted. Are you kidding? That's just some guy in a fuzzy sweater. He doesn't even have big feet. You're cracked, said Stink. They gotta be size 59 at least. Zeke slipped the photo back into the pouch. If you need more proof, come to one of our meetings, Tuesdays at 6. Judy shook her head. I'm busy on Tuesdays from now till forever. Come on, Stink, pizza time. Judy put her arm around Stink, dragging him out. Catch you later, little dude, Zeke called after him. Stink turned and gave Zeke a happy thumbs up. We are going to leave off on page 46, and we're going to be opening next with chapter Gross Grub Club.